that is next generation software economics. So here we have to talk about economics of the software. Economics of the software means our estimation models we have to talk about. So that thing I will tell you some points related to it. What are certain things that you have to remember. So next generation software economics, it is being practiced by some advanced organizations, and many of the techniques, processes, methods described or that we have studied in your syllabus, they have been practiced for several years. However, a mature or modern process is nowhere near the state of the practice for every software organizations. A general structure is proposed for the budget estimation model that would be better suited to the process framework. And the improvements that are being made in the estimation models, they would accommodate some improvements in software economics of scale, and such improvements will be enabled by advancement in software development environment also. So these are some of the key points that you are watching right now. Like our next generation software economics, what it should present to you, and what it should gives the complete scenario in the way to you. So it should reflect better economics of scale and improved return on investments, better profits, and they are the real indicators of mature industry. So here we are talking about, that means a good metric for the evaluation criterias should be utilized, which are part of next generation software economics, so that we will have some better economic based scale and improved return on investments, that means better profits we are getting. Then further technology advancements in round trip engineering, they are critical to making the next quantum leap in software economics. So what is the meaning of this one? Here round trip engineering relates with our iterative development, and if we are utilizing the latest algorithms or latest models, you can say, for the development of the softwares or your products, then it wants to tell you that if you are embedding those latest practices, latest models on the basis of the iterative development round trip engineering, then they set a mark for the better leap for software economics. Then estimation models need to be based on better primitive units defined from well understood software engineering notations like UML language. So here we are talking about well understood notations in the way so that we can present our parameters in a more efficient manner, in a more precise manner, and like we utilize UML language, through diagrams we represent our things. So in the same way we can have some more tools, and so that's why it is being written like these models should be based on some better primitives. Okay, so that is our next generation software economics. These are some things that we have to remember. And if we are talking about the latest present scenario, then already these things are there, and more advancements in technology are providing good platforms for visualization, for implementation. These things are going ahead way better than previous conventional methodologies, you can say. Okay, so that is our next generation software economics. Next part is, after next generation software economics, next generation budget model, next generation cost model. So let me go down so that you can see completely. Yes, so here we have to talk about two stages of software development, that is engineering stage and production stage. These two stages are there, and next generation budget model, it should explicitly separate our architectural engineering from our production, application production, just as architecture first process does. The budget of designing, producing, testing, maintaining the architecture baseline is a kind of function of quality, technology, and the team skill. Architecture budget model, because it is inherently driven by research and development concerns. When organization achieves a stable architecture, the production budget should be an exponential function of size, quality, and complexity. So the main point over here is basically we are talking about these two things, that is first engineering stage and second one is production stage. How they are differentiated, the main crucial part is our engineering stage is like we are finalizing our complete architecture, which comprises of our two phases of life cycle, that is inception and elaboration. Up to design part we have to cover up in engineering stage. So that's why here during this portion of engineering stage it is more of technology driven and risk sharing contracts, funding based, where we are finalizing our initial contract. We are going to work on our requirement gathering, finalizing our requirements, and risk resolution. The errors will come up during this stage, because as always we say with the iterative development on the earlier stages, if there will be more risk, then it will be easy for the developers to handle things on later stages. So that's where risk resolution is more during engineering stage, while on production stage risk is low. Okay, and production stage is more cost driven because everything is maximally finalized and you are working on implementation, and fixed price contracts and funding is there. Okay, just give me a second. Okay, next. So next part is this, in this diagram that you are watching right now. Here the graph has been shown between effort and size or complexity, you can say. As the size increases, complexity increases. That's why. So between effort and time, here two things have been written: ARCH, APP. So ARCH represents architecture, because during engineering stage we work on architecture, process architecture, and here in production stage we work on process application. So that's why APP. So this one is representing our economic scale. So it should be greater than 1 and it should be less than 1. It is based on our budget, kind of, you can say that thing. That's why it is economic scale has been written down, this part. Also, the team size will be small during engineering stage, and software engineering applications. Okay, 1 second. Just give me a second. Okay. Next is the team size is small during engineering stage, because here we are working on finalizing the architecture, plans, requirements. So So big team, not very big team is required. For application part also, small team of domain engineers, small and expert as much as possible will be enough. Products that we will get after completion of engineering stage are our final architecture baseline, which is executable, demonstrable, production plans will be there, and requirements will be finalized. While in production stage, team size for architecture is small for the software engineers. That was already being done during engineering stage also, and applications for application part as large as possible, as required, sorry, not as possible, and diverse according to the requirement of the work that is to be done for the development of the project is needed. For the product that you will get after completion of production stage will be the final deliverables, tested baselines, and warranted quality of the product. During engineering stage, focus is on design and integration, and focus is on implementation, testing, and maintenance on the in the production stage. So these things are already clear to us if you already know about inception and elaboration phase and construction and transition phase. So that will be enough. So this is next generation estimation model, which focus on development of the project in two stages, and how things goes on, what things we have to remember, what are some important points during engineering stage, what kind of team is required, what kind of products we will get as deliverable, and focus will be on what things. Those things you have to remember in next generation budget model. Okay, so that's it about our next generation budget model. If you are having any doubts related up to this point,